No pressure.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to call the meeting to order. Everyone should have an agenda. They should have gotten their financial reports and the minutes in an email. Does anybody have any questions on any of that?
I do have one question on the financials for you, Saffron. I noticed on, let's see here, 8/5 we paid for a Echo blower, $274, and that was taken out of parks. Is that used specifically for parks?
It's probably used out of all of them, depending on.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if, usually try to be, since it's used on everything. I was hoping you would relook at that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And,
It was on 8/5.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. That's it.
On the financial reports I've looked through the expenses and looked at everything there. Just as a matter of standard procedure, so I understand. On all those, you either have receipts or invoices logged.
Yeah, they are down there right now, so I don't have it to show you.
Oh, that's okay.
On that financial, it gives you like an APV number would be like an invoice number that we have. And
Okay.
then, yeah, so yes.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make clear what, how we were doing that. And then on the financial reports, I noticed that there were a couple of line items there where the percent remaining was negative. Is there going to be any action we need to take there to
Yeah,
cover
as long as
that?
it's not negative by the end of the year.
Okay, all right. So we'll need to balance those at some point in the next few months.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's fine.
Anybody else have any more questions?
On the agenda, I wanted to, just as a matter of organization, I wanted to make a motion to amend. Under Section 4, new business, I'd like to move all the appointments to the top of that and start with Vice President for the practical reason of, as we're discussing business down through there, the appointments that we made, that way people, if they're appointed, and that's going to be in their wheelhouse, they can make extra notes, do whatever they need to do there.
Okay.
And also, I would like to note that there's a few of those I feel need to be tabled. It's a little early for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew that would happen. Okay. All right, I just need one motion to approve and sign the consent agenda if anybody doesn't have any more questions or concerns.
I'll motion as amended.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. So we'll move down to new business and moving the appointment of the vice president up to the top. We'll start with that. Does anybody have anybody in mind that they would like to appoint?
I'd like to nominate Chris for vice president.
Anybody else? Anybody disagree, agree?
I'll second that.
All right, so
Done.
Chris is the new vice president.
Congratulations.
Moving on, we need a commissioner for INVA.
And that's one of them I'd like to table.
Okay,
Only reason, I'm not real familiar with where we are with employees right now. And I feel like we should talk to the employees.
They have been talked to about it because we've been without one since
Yeah.
May, and none of them are available or interested in doing it.
Okay.
Saffron had stated that she would do it if the board member didn't want to do it.
Now, with these appointments, these are annually appointed, correct? We do these every year. So with all of these,
The
we get,
commissioner is.
Yeah, not the commissioner.
not the commissioner.
No.
That's just,
And how often does that meet on the IMPA?
Monthly, but actually they have 10 meetings a year.
Yes.
Hold on, I had the stuff in order on the, it was on the agenda, but since it comes around, my stuff's out of order. With the commissioner one, it's usually at the end of the month, like the last Friday of the month, except for they don't meet in November because of the holidays, and then they'll meet a little earlier in December. And then in the spring, there was like a conference where it's 2 days, so they get them all in. So I wanna say 12 times a year, but they do it within 10 months' time. Because the next one will be at the end of August.
So I would be interested in that position.
It does require traveling to Indianapolis for
Yes.
that, so that you be present to vote.
Yes. And is there an alternative in case there's something that I can't, for some reason I can't make it?
No,
Okay. So do they have live meetings that you can?
No.
No. Okay. Asking just in case.
Yeah,
I will take that position.
okay, alright.
it does have to be voted on.
Okay.
Okay.
I just need a motion for Linda to be the input commissioner.
A motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Linda will have that, paperwork for you at the end of the meeting.
Yeah. Is Derek still in charge?
Yes.
Yes. The amended lease option on our water wells. Our wells are located on farmland. We pay the owner a certain amount of money each year. The owner has since, passed, and they're wanting to sell that land. We have a contract with them. I believe Saffron got an amended contract.
What's amendment to, so it's a 99-year lease, and it's stating like the rent that we pay for that is supposed to go with the sale of the land. So if they decide to sell it, but I don't have all those details, I'm not that familiar with the lease itself.
I read through this, section 20 of the amended lease, deals with assignment, so the lease is assigned to heirs, successors, assignees, things like that, so the lease does go with the land, whoever they sell it to, our lease would simply go to them, and we would pay them at that time, but it doesn't break the lease, so.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Did our attorney look at that?
yes. he does.
He's
Did he
the
have any
one that sent it to
comments?
me.
Yeah, that's,
That's the
our
only comment. Okay.
yeah, that, Chris did send that and
Chris
kind
got
of
that, yeah.
explained it, so.
Okay, great.
Was
We had one. We had,
He resigned.
He's not anymore.
so
That's what I thought,
we have been talking with him, so.
because he's also the people that own the estate's attorney.
Yeah, so that's why I was wondering if he's going to have to excuse
It's a
himself
little
on that.
conflicted there.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, do we wanna, I don't, is this holding up a sale for those folks?
I don't have those details.
yeah.
I know that, like, we have the lease, and then Chris Goffman sent this amendment to me beginning of July, and this is the first that has been talked about in meeting.
I looked at, I forgot, is that just a presidential sign or is that all member sign?
No, it was just the president signing, but it hadn't been discussed by the council as of yet.
Should we have someone besides their attorney
That-
look at it?
I would think so. Yeah, you can't represent both parties.
Right.
So we deal with the town attorney thing, we probably ought to have somebody give that a
So-
once over. I don't think it would take but a few minutes to look at.
So we also have an attorney with our utilities that I think could look at that for us. I'm trying to think of his name, I'm sorry. We've had him forever. They did our rate studies and everything. I know Robert Reynolds was in with that group. So I can get you the name.
I'll say Chris Goffman's the only one that I've been in
Yeah,
communication with. as
these
far
are
as attorney.
Indianapolis. We're gonna have to have somebody hired.
So do we want to table this one until we can have it
Yes.
officially reviewed by somebody with a law.
I think it's in our best interest,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think so too. So we'll
Yeah.
table that.
I hate to hold up a sale if it's holding it up, but until we get an
Right.
official legal opinion.
It's our entire water supply. I
Right.
think.
Yeah, right.
So
So what,
they can wait.
part of our rate study.
Okay, moving on. We need a point of contact for our hazmat plan through Greg Lenny. That was John, and now we need somebody else.
So can you give us a little more detail on that?
But he did not give us any details.
Yeah.
All he said was we needed a new point of contact. And so I guess,
Does that need to be a utility employee?
no,
No?
I don't believe it has to be.
In my opinion, I don't know for sure, but on this, it's like if we would have an earthquake and somebody that's gonna be able to come and help them, the fire department. So in my opinion, I do think it needs to be utility appointment. Somebody that can help them shut down quickly. Just my thoughts. Since it's associated with the fire
yeah,
department.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have no comment.
What about you?
I have no, I don't like that responsibility.
Well, basically, you know, if you being able to call up the people that are in the know on anything, because, you know, I can go, yep, there's the water line. But,
It's, I mean, you can put my name on there now, because we literally don't have anybody until we can explore it more and try to
Well,
figure out what else entails it, 'cause that's, I don't know.
you've got all the town employee contacts, so you could, why don't we do you until we have, we're at full employment on the utility, and then we'll do somebody else.
Thanks for the confidence in me.
Our lives are in your hands.
All right. Everybody, hopefully got a copy of the maintenance contract with Cal City Electric Department. We have looked over that with Mike, who is our street superintendent.
Well, 'cause he has utility
Right,
background.
he does have utility background, background, stuff like that. We believe there are some things that we're hoping can be changed. We need to have another sit down with, Andy Hicks.
There hasn't been any discussions yet,
Yeah.
so he came to us because we're short employees, and then he was very nice, and I think that he would meet with anybody that asked him. But it was just something to cover maintenance in the meantime, depending on the replacement of the utility position. But it definitely needs, I don't know, it needs to be looked at. The actual contract, I feel like is a little bit more than what Troy needs. It seems like more than what we need, but we hadn't had a second conversation with him after receiving the contracts,
I
the
think,
options.
yeah. On this one, you know, this master services agreement, there are structurally things that I would be concerned with. The 5-year term, the automatic renewal for 5-year terms. There's no termination for convenience, no other way out other than the notice right before the 5-year automatic renewal. With contracts like this, I mean, you know, that's the one they sent, that's the, you know, you're operating, you know, that's their first swipe at it. So it's going to be obviously friendly to the other party. I think if everybody's agreeable, because I think this is going to be a fairly lengthy conversation. I'm going to ask Saffron on, you know, the last few years, what we've actually spent with Tell City, just an average year over year. And I didn't ask you ahead of time because I didn't want to blow up this meeting with just this contract. But if everybody's agreeable, I think maybe do a working meeting in 2 weeks with the employees, the board here, and kind of drill into this. And then everybody take a look at it, make your own red lines, suggestions, what we need to do there, and then come back with some ideas. We can put all that into a document and then send it back to Tell City with our amendments and see what they say.
So have we been in contact with London Woody? That's who I was trying to think of a while ago. That's our consulting firm for the utilities.
On what?
Anything? No? No?
No, not really.
Okay. Because they've been with us for 25 years.
Mhm.
So they're very familiar with our stuff. They have their own attorneys. They have their own, everything that can help us out. These are the type of things I feel they should have a word in. Keep
Like the
us.
Tell contract?
It's with, yes, we do. I don't know if we have a contract or just, I forgot.
Well, that's what I mean, like this.
Yeah, we use, yes, anything to do with utilities, because they do our rate studies, which includes everything, just like the contract with water, just like this. Those type of things I feel should be put to them before any decisions are made, because this is, can affect a lot of things,
Right.
especially with electric. You know, that could affect our rates, it could affect everything.
So who is the law firm?
It's London Whitty, and they're actually, they have
Whitty?
attorneys, London Whitty. They're in Indianapolis, and I can't think of his name. Jane, what was his name? Yeah, we used Robert Reynolds as he's not an attorney, but he's a CPA, and he does like the rate studies and things like that we have to go by with all of our utilities. So
He also did our large industrial.
Yeah.
Chief did.
so
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely get in contact with him, in
Sounds good.
regards to that contract.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright.
You're good.
We need to review the town budget for DLGF. Everybody should have gotten a copy of that.
The numbers are basically the same as the same areas from the previous year.
is this just our first pass at this? This is not official?
Yeah, but Form 3 needs to be submitted by September 6th, which would be
Okay.
prior to the next meeting, so that we can advertise by the next meeting and then adopt at the following meeting, so we meet the deadline.
Now, once we submit that, are we tied completely to what we submit, or can we make changes after that as we need? Or are we pretty much locked into what we submit?
It's yes or no, so some stuff is stuck where it is, depending on the type of fund that it is, and some stuff is, you can move around within a fund,
Okay.
so it's a yes or no.
What would be, if
I'm
this
gonna tell you, none of this is enough to pay for what we need to pay for no matter what, so
Oh, yeah.
everything is gonna be.
So what items here would we be locked into once we report to the state?
Each page is its own, like this is the general fund. And so this is what I print off of like an Excel sheet, just so it's
Mhm.
easier to like have line item, because
Okay.
Gateway's format isn't this friendly, but then this is like the NVH fund, the second page, and then you have the street fund. And then the last one, it's professional services. So like each page is its own. So like that amount, that total is gonna be on that, somewhere within everything on that
Okay,
page.
so that would be our,
Does that better answer it? Like
Yeah.
whatever's on this page? Yeah.
So when we have our 4-year audit, will any of this, the cost of that affect anything on here?
I don't know what you mean.
So every 4 years, we have a State Board of Accounts audit, and
Yes.
we're charged
Yes.
a lot of money. So knowing that that is going to be next year, and it's probably and it takes away all of our property taxes, because it's automatically paid out of that. So we know that's going to be zero, and we're going to have to pay money in addition to that. And as the State Board of Accounts told me in the past, in addition to all of the costs for the audit, for each,
Well, they break it down by utility and town, so it's not, I want to say you say all the costs, it's actually like,
2 different,
they audit electric and water and sewer, and they send a separate invoice for each one that's paid out of each one.
okay, so you can pay some of that out of the.
Yeah, like the
utilities.
electric portion of the audit, they figure that out and they break it down, and you'll get an invoice that's the electric pays.
Okay, so in addition to the cost for the audit, there's also $1,000 charge for every complaint turned into them. So if there's 40 complaints, that's $40,000. for them to investigate. So just giving you a heads up. I don't know if it'll affect anything on here.
Okay.
Do we need to, do I need a motion for that budget or just review it? And-
Everyone's reviewing it, they're okay with it, then I'd submit the Form 3, and once that's submitted, then like the next meeting is like where we have to have it published, that would be for like the public. Because then it's not formally adopted with a motion until the following.
This is our only opportunity
Make changes.
to submit this, correct? Because we don't have an opportunity to make any votes on it before it's due, right?
Right, there is a timeline, and if we don't pass the budget, we're stuck with whatever was last year, and this is basically last year's.
Okay.
There were only a few things that I shuffled around, but it's all within like the general fund from the previous year, but that's why I have the comparison, so you can see. But yeah, because if we don't make the deadline, that's the state rule. If it's not passed, then we just carry over from the previous year.
It's a little bit of a difficult spot for the
I
more new of
understand,
us here, yeah.
Yeah.
Then, not yet. Can't be helped, but
If you look through here, it's pretty consistent. Anything that's, well, like legal services in 25's 10,000, now it's 4 crossed. So you can usually ask that question and they can tell you why it was higher that year. It's usually to compensate for some type of complaint.
My sister's kid.
So we can email you with questions on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on. We need a Indiana Region 15 representative.
I have dates for that. The Region 15 rep, they have meetings for the rest of this year. There'll be August 25th and one on October 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and they meet in Bergen. I don't know what they discuss.
Kristen's
I would be
interested.
interested in that.
I'll nominate Kristen.
I'll second that.
There's some paperwork to fill out for that. To
Okay.
send back to them.
We also need a representative for our Animal Control Board.
I can do that one. Charlie Baumeister had me up to their meeting last night just as a guest, so we could get an idea. And when it's my turn on the thing here, I'll fill everybody in, but I can take that one. Unless somebody else wants it, I'm not gonna argue. But
Thank you, Chris.
Don't think I have paperwork.
Yes, sir.
But if you have his contact info, I'll let you do
Yeah.
that. And then if you need something from me, if it's something in minutes or whatever, you can just let me know.
Okay, our next thing on the agenda is the TREX program.
I don't know what TREX stands for, but what it is basically is it's with the state. So if we sign up for the program, we can take our delinquent, like old utility balances, we send it to them, and they are able to withhold the amounts from people's tax refunds. It doesn't cost us anything to be a part of it. So basically, the board just has to approve and sign the memorandum of understanding, and then we give them the information.
So there's no fee for this.
Not to sign up for anything. They said that the most that you incur, because you have to send a letter to the individual, is $3 per letter.
Okay. So I knew that was in the works. It's the tax recovery. And it's exactly what you said. They allow that you turn in all these people that didn't pay their utility bills or whatever.
Yeah.
They deduct it.
I've talked with other clerks that use it,
From their
and they're very,
taxes.
very happy with it, so it's something that's
Yeah.
taking
Okay.
some traction and
Yeah.
being utilized.
If we didn't go with this program, what are our other options for collection? Small claims court, which is what, $125 to file?
Expensive.
Yeah,
And part of it's just the time that it takes to get all of that together properly and take it up to the courthouse and get it filed and then go through the process of the court date and then follow up and and it's not automatically withheld. It's
Mhm. We're gonna go through like garnishments.
I pay the $3.
Our tax dollars are paying for
Yeah.
this program anyway, so we might as well use it.
Right,
Yeah.
and we've already had, Crystal, the utility clerk, she sent out letters to all of the delinquent, like old accounts already, and she's had a couple of them go ahead and pay, but quite a few of them, no response.
I personally think the Trex would be more cost effective.
I think it would be
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
And in that agreement, there is a 90-day termination for convenience, I think. So if we don't like it, we just gotta give 90-day notice and we can exit. So,
Continue.
So, the motion for it,
yeah, well, I'll take over. Does anybody want to make a motion to authorize to enter this?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on the agenda is Blight Board. I don't have details. All right, we'll come back to that one. Town Attorney. It's okay. We were just moving past gonna move past Blight Board. I didn't have any details, so.
We just need members on our blood board. That's basically all it is we just need to just kind of start fresh.
How many members are there?
I believe it's 5.
I would be interested in being on the blight board.
Yeah,
So can you provide us, is that, you're still using the ordinance?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
If you could provide that, I think it would give us a little more insight.
Okay.
on-
I will try to get that to everybody, at least in your boxes, or emailed. I might have to put yours in your box since you don't have a working email. Moving on, we need a town attorney.
So in speaking with Chris Goffinet, he said he would consider it. He did not say yes, he did not say no. So I did not get an opportunity to speak to him today, but I'd like to table this till we find out next week.
We spoke to a couple, Stefan and I, just looking.
So do you mind sharing with us who you're considering?
I reached out to Andrew Foster, and then,
I don't remember that there was a woman at a Huntingburg, but she declined, she was too busy. I don't remember what her name was, sorry. It was recommended by another clerk.
Foster, is he local?
Spencer County.
Spencer County, yeah. I think that's who we had once. And I think we fired him. Yes,
Do you remember when?
yeah. And I remember what for too, but, so it's been at least 10 years ago.
He was one that was recommended.
So, 'cause, yeah,
Okay.
just heads up.
Is Chris the only name in town locally?
That does towns, yes. There's other people, but most of them are overwhelmed. I know his partners does. Till City, he's overwhelmed. That doesn't mean he won't say no, but there is other people, yes. I think there's 3 attorneys in Tell City that do, that I'm aware of. So if we could table that, I think we can gather it.
Okay. Fire department, Jason Linney, I've not heard anything from him, a couple of months now. So we'll move on. Utilities and street, Mike, do you have anything?
no, I do not.
Thank you. Moving on. I have spoken with Mike Garrett, about possibly, considering, obviously considering the board's, opinions, but making him the lead man for our utilities. He's already mostly doing all of the work already. Just make sure everybody is doing their, what they're supposed to be doing and stuff like that. It would come with a $2 an hour raise. I believe that's per the
usually gonna lead?
We have Devin and we have Steve.
In a fourth position to
And there's
fill.
a fourth position that needs to be filled.
I talked to you a long time ago that you liked your job, but you didn't actually know what to do because nobody tell you what to do.
I don't know. I pick up trash.
Okay.
You know, the electric part, I was a lineman, for years.
Yeah, but you told me that no one down here would ever tell you, go do this, go do that. Is that correct?
You very well know, you all know.
You didn't answer my question, didn't you tell me that right off the bat?
I mean, I might have.
Okay.
I really don't think we need a lead man. I think we all know what we need to do.
Are you guys have any questions? Or opinions?
I mean, I'm all for lead man, but I don't see $2 a raise, no more than they got to do, my opinion.
Does that affect our budget?
It's out of utility.
So do we have a description of what he does now and what he will do now after the raise or no?
No, we've been attempting to do job descriptions.
Let's do the description first. And then we can,
Table until next week.
then we can talk to the employees and see. I mean, if we don't have a description, let's get feedback from the employees. Well, those of us that are new get feedback from them and, go from there.
That's all I have. Kristen?
I just wanted to make sure that you and Saffron got the contact info for the DNR guy.
No.
Oh, I thought I texted that to you. Steven told me to make sure that I got that to you guys. Because he gives us, some funding for the boat ramp. And the boat ramp needs some maintenance. So he knows where to get some funds. So I'll get you that number. I could have swore I texted it.
No, I just went through.
Unless it's waning.
No,
Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Chris?
I've got a couple of things here. Was invited, as I mentioned before, by Charlie Baumeister to the Animal Control Board last night. As a guest, I wasn't our official representative, but I told him we'd have to make that official tonight before we could do that. But did have some notes. September 3rd of 26 is a county council meeting. They are asking for some funding to be restored to the Animal Control Board. That would be a benefit to all the communities, Tell City, Troy, Candleton, and the county. That funding had been there previously, but has been wiped out in most recent years. And he asked that if anybody supports that they show up to the county council meeting and as a show of support. They'll also be asking for an animal control officer from the county. Don't anticipate that's going to happen, but it would be nice for the county council to know that people do want that, and that's still a priority. They're asking for minimal amounts of funding, anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. And then they are starting a trap and release program for stray cats. They're going to do the north side of Tell City first and see how that goes, make any tweaks from there. They've got a deal out of Du Bois County for spay, neuter, shots, everything, and then return the cats out to where they came from. They'll eventually be contacting Troy to do it here. He said, as officials down here, keep an eye out for where we around town where we do have a stray cat problem, etc. And then when it's our time to come do for that, they'll contact us and get that organized. Yeah, I'll let you guys know from now, since I'll email Charlie when we get done with this meeting and let everybody, and let him know, and I'll bring all the news back to you all as we do that, so. And they said, they asked the communities to contribute something, not necessarily monetarily, but help with transportation, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people have been taking this on individually out of their own pockets. The animal shelter has taken on quite a bit, and it's come out of their budget, certainly going well above and beyond what they are officially supposed to do. So, but and they have some meetings coming up that I'll attend and bring any news back to the board here. So, well, and the second thing I'll address is I'll address the elephant in the room, I guess. First of all, I wanted to say I am honored to be serving on this board. It's always an honor and a privilege to serve your community and serve the people, to work for the people. I take that very seriously. I've done public service in the past, so I know what it is, and I know responsibilities. So I'm here to do the best job that I can. But obviously, there have been some issues here. There's a reason there are 4 new people on this council tonight. I'm not going to litigate or relitigate complaints or anything. I will say that from the moment that this appointment was made with me, I've talked to multiple people with multiple concerns and complaints. And obviously, there is something at issue. You had 4 resignations here, bipartisan resignations. The town attorney resigned. So I think we all need to be very conscious of the reputation of the town. If you want to put it in business terms, we need to maintain and defend the brand of this town. I think the 5 of us in Saffron have the opportunity to do a lot of positive things for this community. We have a little less than 18 months left on the terms that we're appointed to. In that 18 months, I think we can do a lot. I look forward to working with everybody. But in order to do that, we need to make positive, affirmative steps to clearing the air, wiping the slate clean, whatever, insert your favorite metaphor here. And we need to keep that in mind as we move forward. I think Troy has a lot going for it. Everybody here has an investment in this town. Roger's been here his entire life. I'm fairly new, but we all have an investment here. I've made a significant personal investment in my home. I continue to make significant investments in my home. But, you know, it's my little house over there on the corner next to the river is my favorite place on earth. And I enjoy it, but we need to make sure that everybody feels positively about that. We need to make sure that we don't have issues. We need to clear out controversies. So I would remind all of us on this board that we do need to take affirmative steps to improve the reputation, because it's taken a hit, in my opinion, based on what I've heard so far. I'll leave it at that because I have a feeling that people are going to speak after me are going to address this too. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Chris. Roger?
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions. First of all, can you or Saffron elaborate on why the whole board resigned?
No.
Can you tell us why?
No.
You've been the president for how many years?
Yeah.
And you don't know why they resigned?
Nope.
And you know you took an oath not to uphold the laws and the
Yes.
rules? Okay.
Yes.
And you have no idea why they resigned?
No.
Does anybody have a copy of the attorney's resignation?
He sent
Yeah,
an
he sent
email,
an
so I
email.
can give
I
it
have
to
that.
you.
What it is, can you find it and read it?
Sure.
Sorry to bother you.
I'll find it and read it for you.
None of them elaborated or gave us reasons.
Oh, yeah, they did.
One did.
2.
Who else?
Jade
Yeah, Jade was one.
and the attorney. That's
Oh.
2. When I went to school, that's 2. Because a lot of these people here tonight have no idea why. A lot of them resign, and I really don't know the reason. I've heard rumors. But I think we need to know.
We've been July 22nd.
Yes. Given all that has gone on, I am resigning as attorney for the town effective immediately. I cannot represent the town when it is in such disarray.
What's he mean by that?
Well, I don't know, Roger.
You don't know?
No.
Do you know? No, I wanna know.
Well,
He never elaborated. I never talked to him. I let him know I needed to pick up the codification book and
he said
He
all
put
that
it-
had gone on. What does that mean, Chris?
That's what I mean.
Well, I mean, he should have said so.
yeah. he
All that's gone on.
never-
Our legal rep, we can't.
Next question.
Elaborate that on another meeting. The shelter house. We tore it down because it wasn't built right. Got the money back. Where's the money at?
It had to go back into the ARPA fund, because that's where the money came from.
I'll elaborate on that too,
Okay.
in my turn.
What about the water salesman? Who keeps track of that money?
The office.
And you have receipts of the income and all that, how much you get off of it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes into a spreadsheet.
They go down, and the girls in the office are bonded. They're the ones that go down and collect it, and then
Where's that money
deposit
go?
into the water fund.
Anything else?
It's like, I just can't get it through my mind why a whole board would resign and nobody knows why.
Brett did not state the reason. He just said effective July 5th, I'm no longer on the board. Brandon sent an email. I honestly don't know what his email said.
He was resigning.
Yeah, just basically that he was resigning. And then we never saw anything from Adam. Any more questions?
Yeah, on the fire department, you said you haven't heard from anybody in a couple of months.
No.
Don't you think you need to address that, call somebody or find out what's going on? Do we even have a fire department?
Um,
I don't know anybody on the board. on the fire
Jason Lenny's the fire
yeah,
chief.
Jason Lenny is the fire chief.
I know he is, but who? So y'all don't know who.
No,
He doesn't show up to meetings to
Yeah.
communicate anything. I don't know what you want us to do with that.
Well, wouldn't it be advisable to call him and see what's going on?
We've
He-
tried. We
yeah.
do. He knows when their meetings are.
Yeah. he received the notification of the meetings as along with everybody else.
That's all I got.
Do we have a fire department?
I don't know.
Who
He's telling
responds
me.
to fire? I mean, who's coming?
Good question.
They provide a list of names at the end of the year. That's all I have is a list of names from December.
Linda,
You finished, Roger?
Yeah, I'm done.
he said he was.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few things. First of all, I'd like to know how many bonded employees we have in the front office.
2.
Okay, only 2 bonds paid for right now.
There's 2 bonded employees in the
And you,
office.
yeah,
And Karen, she's on the bond.
I'm sorry,
I'm bonded.
for why?
She was assisting in the office when the office help quit with no notice.
That's not allowed by Indiana code,
Okay.
so. No. That is not allowed. You're an elected official, you're not allowed to be in that office at all.
What code is it?
I'll get that for you. I have it here. And like you are responsible for the utilities, it says so in your responsibilities. So if you need help in there, you have to hire somebody. That's what it says, and it says, elected official is not allowed to be bonded other than you and who you employ. And you can't be paid for that job, so you
I've
can't.
never been paid for that.
I know
job.
that, but you can't do that because that's why. Yeah. So just something you need to know. And we will move on. The items that are for sale in the lobby, I looked through the minutes. I did not see any approval to sign to sell those. Those were paid for with town money.
On this, you and I have talked. They're small items. I'm not inclined to get too bent out of shape about that, but
I did speak with the town attorney before doing any of that, so
Okay.
there are emails to back that up.
okay. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna get bent out of shape on this one. It's not, I don't think the items are all that significant, but in the future, if we're gonna sell off anything that is town property, we probably ought to have the council just give a formal okay before we do that, just to keep everything above board. Sorry, I didn't mean
It's
to
fine,
interrupt.
that's all right. Let's see, I'm trying to get the small things out of the way. The cemetery ordinance, it's 7-2-2016. Has it ever been updated?
Sure.
So the town attorney recommended it was up to be updated, just so you know. It's very, very vague. It's only one page.
Okay.
So it's, because you need more details to run the cemetery, because things are changing with cremations and things like that.
What type of
Okay.
details do you recommend to be put in there?
There's a draft on the, yeah.
They have a form, like they have a template to work off of.
No, it was just a recommendation that came from our attorney. I think it just needed signed.
Who's the attorney?
We don't have an attorney.
When we had an attorney, this was 2 years ago, that was written up and needed to be reviewed and signed.
So in 2024,
Just give me a heads up, it should be somewhere that needs to be done. There's some things in that one that we have now will cause a lot of people in this town grief if they try to bury 2 cremations in one plot, just so you know. That's all I'm asking, just please look at it. Has anybody, have we looked at our rate study recently, last 2 years?
Which one?
Any of them?
The electric was updated 3 or 4 years ago, and it was stair stepped out, so the last increase was like 24.
Yeah.
Water had also recently been increased. Nothing's been done on sewer, stormwater, or trash.
So the rate studies control a lot of things, including what we pay employees, just so you know, on all of the utilities. So you might want to look at that. That's Robert Reynolds that we contact on that. I don't know if you've talked to him before.
Yeah.
He's a CPA, yeah, okay. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go back to the Parks Department. I'm gonna start with the good stuff first. The good stuff is Kristen has approached me and she and I have talked. We're both interested in working on getting something going there. Now, what we've talked about, we're not sure if it's better that we have a Parks Department or if we go back to like we have the Troy Association where we have a 501c3. So if it's all right with
I
everybody.
know there's an ordinance about a parks board.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the stipulations are. but
If you
there's
gotta have so
specific-
many dams, so
Yes.
many, and then if you don't have all, then you can't have a meeting, so it's been an issue. So,
It'd be super helpful to have a 501c3.
yes, it would. So we're gonna look into that, just so you know. All right, we're gonna start on that.
Do we need to do a motion to authorize you two to act officially about setting that up? Do you
We
want, I
can't,
mean, I'm willing to make a motion to, if you guys want that, if not, that's fine, but I think it's a wonderful idea.
Just looking into it, they don't need a motion, but if they decide like we want to start this,
Mhm.
then it would be.
Yeah. let us do a little research first. Okay. All right. So, the Parks Department. When the patronicity money was gathered up and the equipment out here was put in, there was some other monies that was put in that fund. And it was earmarked for the shelter house. And it was agreed in the meetings that there was going to be a shelter house put up, and the ARPA money was going to be the factor, like if we're $4,000 short, it was going to use that. I also noticed in the, this is the American Resource where we had the bucket of money, it had to be
American Rescue Plan?
the same
That's
one,
what
right?
our
Yeah.
stands, yeah.
All right.
American Rescue Plan.
So there was, I seen in the minutes where you said everything had to be earmarked by a certain date.
Correct.
No, there's an ordinance, you need to look at it.
I'm talking about the federal guidelines, not the ordinance. The federal guidelines said we have to have everything decided. Yes,
That ordinance overrode that
no, it doesn't.
completely. Yes, yes it did. So relook at that.
Is there a deference to,
Hopefully,
Yeah.
the ordinance can override the federal.
So what they did, there was this bucket of money, everybody had nothing, we are a small town, we could spend it on a million things. There was a bucket
No,
of
you
money.
can't. You had to spend it on infrastructure. It literally, the funding was, that's the federal guidelines, was that it had to go to water, sewer, or, I keep wanting to say Wi-Fi, but I can't remember, fiber or optic. Those were the three things you were allowed to spend it on.
Before the last letters came out. And then they came out, there were so many people had this money, didn't have everything to spend it on, so they said, if it's less than a certain amount of money, and have you read the ordinance that was signed and written?
Yes, because I read the one from 2021 that couldn't be overridden by the one that was signed later. But the money's been spent,
I
It
know,
was
but it did
spent.
not have to be spent.
but it already has. So I'm just saying that
So-
the sewer intersection that needed to be spent, the water pump, or the sewer pumps, the water
So you spent it
tower.
on utilities.
Yes, the infrastructure of water and sewer, because that's what was needed for the town.
All right,
Why did you have to spend that when you got?
all this money in
millions of dollars in
utilities.
the utility?
Because the sewer didn't have any money. They didn't have any money. So when the state came in several years early to say that they were repaving 66 and widening the intersection, we already knew that ahead of time, that we were gonna have to come up with 10%, which was $22,205 for that relocation of the sewer line at the intersection. And we didn't have enough money in the fund to do it, but the ARPA money could pay it, so that's why that went towards that. And then, I don't know anything about the sewer pumps, but Devin said that they were old and we needed better have backups, so that backups were ordered. That was another like 14,000 on one of them. And thankfully, when those were ordered, one showed up the day one of them went out, so immediately a brand new one went in. And then the water tower needs repainted and also needed repairs. So an inspection was done over, a year ago, and some of the ARPA money was used to do the repairs, because you had to decide what it was being spent on, have to submit a report every year at the end of 2025, and then it has to be spent by the end of 2026. And whatever's not spent then goes back. So the only other portion of it that didn't get spent on the utilities was the body cam. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that the federal government says that we can get away with that, because I don't know. That was all decided and ordered before I got here.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree right now because I totally disagree with you. So we'll move on. One of the things in the Parks Department with the patronicity grant, it needed to be completed when I left, and there was a list left, and it was not completed. I have had several donors very, very unhappy. One of them was a $10,000 donor for the shelter house. And so I think we need to look at that. But to finish out that patronicity grant, there's just a few things that needs to be done. I worked on that with Grandview Aluminum before I left. And it's just basically listing and giving credentials and things to the people that donated. Now, if we need to get that finished, And I didn't know if there was still money in there to do that or how that's done, yeah.
I haven't heard anything about this grant at all and didn't come across any of the stuff in the office when I took over, so maybe that was some of the stuff you took. You got that information? Because I don't.
It's in the book with the parks in there on all the donation forms and everything.
Maybe you rejected stuff you took. Because it's not in there.
Excuse me, are you accusing me of taking something in the public meeting?
No.
And what'd you just say?
It's not in the office that was,
Okay.
I took over.
All right. So there's a form that was sent out. I do have a copy of that because everybody in the town got one for donations. And it clearly says that this donation will go to the parks, the next one will go to the shelter house and basketball court as we earn money for the different projects. So I will, if it's okay, I will go ahead and talk to Grandview. I'll get the cost that it's going to take to complete this, because if we go with trying to get money now with unhappy donors, it's probably not going to happen. So I think we need to finish that. So
Finish what?
finish the patronistic grant. Part of it, if you look, I've got that form with me. I'll show it to you here in a little bit.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's when here, it's right here. When we sent out, we couldn't get any money for parks because we didn't qualify for salary ordinance. Salary, we made too much money for the town. So our only option was to go with this patronistic grant, which we got $25,000 of donations, and this grant matched it. And then we went and put the equipment in. And part of that, you know, like we told the donors that they would be recognized with different levels. You can have this copy. So anyway, everything was done except the plaques the recognition. There's some of these people that gave, you know, a lot of money. The reason that the $10,000 one was not included in all of this was because it was given to us before we went into this grant. We weren't allowed to use it. So that 10,000 was separate. And
I'm a little concerned that we took donations for something and didn't follow through.
I know, I agree. And that's all I want to do. I just want to finish it. It should be pretty simple. The plaques themselves, I believe, will be under $1,000 total, more like 500, I'm thinking. But the thing to post it in, probably going to be $2,000. So we're looking at $3,000 to finish it. And that's all that has to be done to finish it. It's done per this agreement that we had out. So,
Then I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Where does that money go? What fund does it go to when we sell a plaque?
so
What
she
is
has
that?
a parks fund, and there's several
I don't
steps
remember.
under that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the plaques stay in one, and yeah, it's all there.
So you just need the plaques.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and something to display them. Yeah,
Okay.
and then we can start asking for more donations. Yeah.
Let's
So,
do it.
okay, we'll get it done. Anyway, I will bring the estimated cost before we do anything to the next meeting. So I wanted to let you know what I'm working on. I've also got a question in to the State Board of Accounts, because there was money that was earmarked to be done and approved that never got done. So I'm waiting on some answers from that on the ARPA money.
What kind of project?
It was, one was the shelter house.
When that was returned, the money was received back into the ARPA funds. That's all the information I have on that. That's what Showinky's doing.
Just for everybody's information too, there is a public access where everything that goes into every state and town in the state of Indiana is Gateway. There is a public site. So she has the official site. There is another site you can go in and look in on the backside, just so you know. One of the big concerns, and one of the things that we've been hearing a lot of complaints about, is not having a marshal. And the ordinances we have are absolutely worthless without a marshal. So just know that that's going to be probably a big, big issue for all of us coming up soon.
We haven't received any formal complaints to the office about it.
Yeah, we know.
This is just a, I'm sorry. I don't
Go
wanna
ahead,
interrupt, but
go ahead.
What she said about the ordinances, even if we wanted to enforce, we can't ask Perry County Sheriff to come down and enforce, tell city you can't enforce, we can't ask Indiana State Police to enforce, because generally they can't enforce down. We have, for a town ordinance, we have to have some type of enforcement here, where even if it's a civil violation, we need some mechanism, person to be able to issue that. I think occasionally that could be done from the clerk treasurer position, but I want to put you in that position. But that's, you know, more so just as much as like traffic control and things when we have an event like the fireworks, because, you know, I talked to you, traffic was a concern over there. You know, I think we paid Tell City to come down and do that, but, you know, traffic control, that, you know, we've got an entire book that I gave back at the beginning of this meeting, you know, the binder's this thick when it's printed, of ordinances that, you know, we need to be enforcing, because there's good stuff in there. There's a lot of antiquated stuff in there, honestly, too, but we don't have a mechanism to do it. And without a marshal, you know, I'll just tell you from living on the main thoroughfare over there, people know that we don't have law enforcement here. The way, you know, the way they act on the street, it's like a little drag strip out there multiple times a day. I know it goes on out 545 too. And people know, and they know they can get away with it, because more than likely, Perry County Sheriff's Department's not gonna have deputy in town. More than likely, Indiana State Police isn't gonna have somebody here. You see them come through once in a great while, other than when John Allen was making some traffic stops in the morning a year ago, early morning, I have never seen a traffic stop occur along 66 from my place, and I've watched. So it's very concerning that we don't have a law enforcement presence here, even part-time. We don't have the capability. And, you know, in looking at the 2027 budget projection here, the marshal's salary has gone from $1,500 to $1,000, and that's down from $27,040 in 2025. That's something I think I saw. I saw, and I understand that, you know, cuts have to be made because the state dictates a lot to local governments, and we don't have a choice when they take funding away, because that's what the state does. But we need to, all of us, be creative in attempting to fill that, regain the equipment there and restore that capability, because I think the town needs it. I'm sorry, I'm taking up your time. I
No,
apologize.
we talked about this, you know, and
Yeah,
that's.
I just wanted to put that on the record, because what you're talking about, I think, is really important.
Also, there is an Indiana code that says that the board cannot act as a police officer, so.
Right.
Yeah. I'll let that go for now. I did receive my ordinance, I did receive my letter that they are going to ask for these stamps again for the side-by-sides. So I think that needs to be tabled also till we get a marshal, because that's really not fair to those of us that have been paying it. Somebody comes to town, has a new one.
What do you mean? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Were you
So-
talking about the inspections and like getting?
Yeah.
Do we have that stuff out? We went through Chris, and Chris said that that was something that Saffron should be able
The
to.
clerk treasurer
Yeah, the
position.
clerk treasurer
But yeah,
position.
the ordinance has already been amended.
Yeah, I saw that.
To include that.
Yeah.
So anybody that comes in still has to pay for a sticker. There's
Yeah.
not,
So anybody that comes in, okay.
yeah, like. if
That's the
there's a-
key, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you have
We've
a
already-
marshal. If you
But
don't,
we
if it-
also amended the clerk treasurer's got up the ability to do that, so we've already covered that. That's what I'm saying.
So
So-
you're gonna peruse the town and see who does not have a sticker and who's got the new side by side.
You
that-
can.
Yeah,
That's what
Can you,
I
can you,
have
can you issue
the
a citation
papers for.
to
Yeah.
people that don't have it?
no, I don't issue citations, but I can take the inspections so that they're still paying the fee when they're.
In the office.
But they have to voluntarily come in.
Right.
If I buy one and just don't come in.
Oh,
I
don't
would.
worry, I'll get you a letter,
Letter.
because I'm gonna see it. I've already done that several times with several people. And, hey, we need to send a letter to, because I saw so-and-so going by, and I know that they're not in the binder on the list. And then it also says if you don't do it, like, there's a fee to that, like, that's all in the ordinance. The original, there's like an original ordinance
And-
several years ago, and then like amended ordinance.
And your office is empowered to do that. And
The
this-
clerk treasurer is given the authority to do the inspections. That's what they added to it, since we didn't have a marshal it for an extended period of time.
If somebody would refuse, what's the action then?
I have to go back and read the ordinance for exact, it's several pages long,
Okay,
because there's like a fee that can be,
tacked on to something.
yes.
Okay.
Not worded as a citation.
This is, again, my concern that there's no enforcement mechanism until we
Legal.
unless we get really fancy with it.
Yeah, same
So-
concern when we have a part-time marshal, it's only 20 hours, so.
All right, that's all I have.
Stefan?
Nothing, I have nothing.
Moving on to old business. ADA rep permits. Stefan, that was your thing.
I know there's an ordinance, we need to have an ADA representative, and it was last listed as Peter Linney, so it needs to be updated with somebody who's currently employed with the town.
It's Title IV.
Devon's water license test. Devon has to take, the test again to get his water license. I believe he's taken it 3 or 4 times already.
Who pays for that test?
Back in 20,
The water utility.
I believe, we, in a board meeting stated that the board, or the town, the water utility
So it's water utility.
would pay for 3 of those tests. He has since, like I said, taken the test 3 times, we've paid for it, and now he needs to take it again.
So we're gonna pay for it again, or is he gonna pay
That's
for it?
up to
It's in the
board.
salary ordinance that would only cover the first 3.
So I don't believe, per the law, that we can, if we require it, we have to pay for it. So if we exhausted our 3, then we need to look at an alternative, which maybe be consultant or something like that, or another employee. I don't think we can refuse to pay for that certified test per an item. I'm pretty sure we'll have that same say. That's just my thoughts.
When you and I talked, is this a tiered license? He has one and needs to get a second? Is that, did I
There's
remember
2
that?
separate licenses. And
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with what the difference is in the 2 and what they cover.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with Delta Water
Yes.
Utility.
There's several. And it all depends on what your chemical additions are and things like that. I've worked for these licenses for years. I'm just saying, we need to figure out what we want to do because,
Yes, that's why it's on the agenda.
yeah,
What does this enable, this license, what does this enable him to do? Do we know?
I believe it's like water samples and stuff like that.
so right now he can do additives and things like that. Do we have anybody overseeing him right now?
Nope.
No, and it's for
He's
what
working
reason?
off the provisional, like,
Okay,
approved,
so how long is provisional? Do
a
you
year
know?
at a time.
And
1 year from,
And it's up to item if they allow him to renew it and do another year. Like, that's, they're kind of, it's at their discretion.
is there a cost to that?
no,
There's not. Okay.
it's basically items, discretion on how they want to help us, and that's what they're doing. I really think we need to investigate that more before we refuse to pay for it,
No, I wasn't
from an
saying we were
employment
refusing.
standpoint. Is he getting ready to take it again, or, you know?
Yes.
What kind of, you know what the timetable is for when he's gonna take it, when we would owe the fee if we're gonna pay it?
I have no idea.
Worst
He
case,
was supposed to be here tomorrow.
so in worst case, we could always reimburse him too. Yeah, I mean, as far as one of the options,
How much is it?
It's either 30 or
$35.
I think it's more than that now.
$40. The training was more than that. Training was $400.
I believe he told me on the phone maybe last week that it was like, I want to say 45 or 70.
I personally took that test twice. And I promise you, it is the worst nightmare you ever want to live.
Really?
Yeah, because not all water systems are the same, but it makes you take a test on all water
Everything.
systems. So it's
Oh,
taking stuff that you're
everything.
not familiar
All the way
with.
from here to California.
Oh, great.
The item thing.
Yeah. If we do a working session here in a couple weeks, I'm assuming we'll talk about that at the end. He would be one of the people that I would want to come in so we can talk to him about this, because at some point we need him to pass that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so the other option on that is we pay a consultant and he works under him. So is he still working on his lineman?
No.
So that's one of the other options, is just pay the consultant, which they're usually kind of expensive.
I've never met a chief consultant.
Thank you. So anyway, we probably need to look at the options on that. Because IDEM's going to require us to have somebody over him if he continues to.
Cooper worked out there for 3 years. before
good.
he-
I know.
he left.
That's what I'm saying, that's good. There for a long time, we were paying the consultants, and then,
Yeah, that guy retired.
yeah, but there's several of them, there's a whole list of them that you can get, there's like 5 or 6 in Tell City.
Okay, we need to update the employee handbook to include an annual driving record review of the employees.
It was recommended when we had an insurance audit that you do like a background, or like a driving test background check. Not background check over here. Just recheck your driving record, that's the word I want, sorry. Recheck their driving record every year, because it's driving town vehicles that they don't have infractions that would incur or cause insurance increase. That's not currently in the handbook, so that's what we need a motion for, just to add it.
I got a question. How come Devin don't have a CDL?
You'll have to ask Devin. I don't know.
We'll tack that onto the list of things we need to ask him when we meet.
I
So-
think he requires one.
It's not up to me, I have
For
no idea.
what
It's
truck?
not
The,
Probably the bucket truck.
a bucket trucks and other truck.
Yeah, it's really, he's taking CDL classes now, so that he,
Is it?
He's got his
it's
permit,
a
good.
3-week class.
That's
So,
good.
Go Devin.
So the employee handbook, are we still using that service that wrote that?
No, we're no longer using it.
we don't really have a service, we just got one, a new handbook written and passed, and that's what we've been using.
So is it the original one that we're waiting to get?
I
New
mean,
Focus HR,
Yeah.
that's who it was through.
Do you have a PDF of the handbook? If you do, can you email that to me?
So we're following that when we fire employees and everything
We're
too.
following that to a T.
So we've got a step reprimand for all these employees that left. That's what that book says.
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
So like if you have a person you fired for discipline or whatever reason,
Mhm.
even though it's a fire at will state, that does not recover federal laws. You have to have a step by step, maybe you're gonna give them one chance.
Nobody's been fired since we adopted this.
Oh, nobody's been fired?
By resignation.
I'll say fired or quit, what are you trying to?
I'm asking, just make sure it's liability issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I don't
say
know, sorry.
we're a government employee, and they're entitled to due
Due
process.
Yes.
So she was fired
Yes, she was
by who?
by the board.
What was the reason?
So they
Discuss
aren't,
that in
I'm not
public
allowed to
meeting.
discuss that.
no, that's why it has to be on file in her office only.
Okay. I just just need a motion to update.
I motion to update.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
I
All opposed? Motion passed. We do need members for our zoning board. I believe we need two of the seats are either elected officials or employees, something of that nature. And then the other two are citizens.
When does this meet, or is it just as needed?
You have to meet at least once a year in January where you pick your president and vice president and secretary. We are currently short 4 positions, so we do need 2 elected officials. I am already on it, so it has to be 2 of this board. One's supposed to be a Republican, one has to be a Democrat. And then we are short 2 citizens. One needs to be and those are appointed by the council president. And then we are short 1 Republican and 1 Democrat. Anybody want to be on the zoning board?
Well,
If they're Republican?
I'm looking at my other 2
I'll
Democrats here.
take the Democrat.
Hmm.
I'll take the Democrat.
You can have more than one.
The last thing that we have, we need a trash.
I got some old business.
Okay,
My town through the years has spent thousands and thousands of lawyer fees to get our ordinances on the books. And nobody enforces them, because we don't have a marshal. But you said you can enforce the side-by-side tags as,
I can do the inspection on the equipment
Okay.
in order to issue a tag.
can
yes.
you enforce the ordinances?
Depends on the ordinance. I can send letters.
I'm talking about junk cars, high weeds,
That's the blight board.
trash.
Blight board. That's the blight board. So that's not me. That's the blight board.
Who is on the block? Well, I've never heard
Most
of
of you
it.
guys, I don't.
We're gonna talk about that.
I've never
yeah,
heard
that
of
was
it before.
tabled.
That was tabled. I would love to be on the blight board.
What's
There's still a
how
book
many
of all
members is
the,
it?
everything that
But
we've
I
I
mean,
know
done.
that
if
I
we
was
don't
just
have
told,
law
and I'm not that
enforcement,
familiar
you
with
can't
it, just be like.
enforce it.
That because I wasn't.
But you can send letters.
Yeah,
Strongly
worded
worded
letters.
letters.
You know how far that goes, the trash can that's
But
supposed
even your
to.
Part of it is its thickness is so just a lot of stick.
We've only enforced one that I'm familiar with.
So who enforces it then? The attorney?
So we have, it's gotta be a legal process.
Right.
Yeah, due process. Yeah. So you can do
We
steps.
just need a town attorney.
Yeah.
Last thing on our list is we need a trash truck. Our trash truck has been down for several weeks now. We are using a dumpster out back.
Pickup truck and backhoe.
Yeah, the part has been ordered for Jason Money. I believe he's still waiting on it. Do you have an update to talk to him?
He's got it on.
Okay, he's got it, he just has to put it on now.
So it'll be up and running and we're okay once that's happened.
Hopefully, because this is the second time that it's had a major issue.
Same thing over and over again? or-
It's an old truck.
The first one, somebody put gasoline in it instead of
Regular gas instead of diesel.
and then this one was a new thing. So,
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
We really need a big expensive trash truck.
No, we don't. And we are looking for
We
something
used to
smaller.
haul in our town dump truck all the time, make 2 trips to the dump, and it's not done.
I just feel like that is,
It's an ergonomic issue
yes, because they're having to throw the bags up in
over
the
their head.
truck. And
That's why we bought the trash truck. We
Yeah.
only paid $2,000 for that from the
Yeah.
town of Tell City. And then we spent $8,000 fixing it up.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to make sure we're not going to dump a
Why
bunch
can't
more
you
money.
put the trash back in
No,
the backhoe and dump, use the backhoe dump in the dump truck till we can afford it? I don't think it bags that heavy myself, but put 'em in the,
But you're a giant.
not very nice.
I mean,
could've
you're
told you
strong.
something, But I'm not.
I mean, you're strong.
I mean, we used the dump truck for years. If something heavy, I got the backhoe out, put it in the bucket, dumped it in there. If we need 2 loads, I took it to the dump.
So the trash truck, it's
We don't-
lower so you don't have to lift it
No,
up.
it's like all of them is hydraulic.
Oh, so does it just grab the trash can?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought we got really
They
fancy.
pay $2,000 for it, they pay $100.
Yeah. Well, you never know about used stuff.
Yeah. No, ain't got no arm.
It's just, yeah, just set it on the back of the dump.
Oh, okay, okay,
It is a rear load
okay.
with the compactor on the back. It's a compactor truck.
Well, maybe the next few years we'll get lucky and Telsey to come up with an extra one again.
Flat.
I don't know if we have a few years, that's why
Oh.
it's being brought up, so.
Yeah.
Didn't get a trash can.
Okay. I don't believe we have any correspondence. I just need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Excuse
me.
No,
No, not per Chris Kaufman.
I'm sorry?
Not per Chris Kaufman.
it's not required in
It's
a
not
meeting.
required.
Well, like,
Well,
what
point
do you
of
allow?
order. I'll make a motion to open the floor to public comment.
Thank you.
Okay, Jane, would you like to go first?
Yeah, because I'm signed up first. Just a couple things. How come the meeting minutes are no longer on the website?
Because it's not required,
What do you mean it's not required?
it's not required to post them,
Says who?
the state board of health. Because it's not a requirement for IT codes. It's
But
not
how come they
required.
were on there before and now they're not?
I think it just depends on who is in charge.
So you took them down.
I stopped posting them. I just stopped taking the time to post them.
But what about the ones that were already, I know they quit posting since they started live streaming.
Oh, because the ADA compliance, they're not, they're not ADA compliant.
But what about the ones that are on there? You couldn't have left them on there?
Because they're not ADA compliant. That was why they had to be taken down, because
Says
there's
who?
ADA compliance rules.
What do
So it's in the
So if
process,
I come in and ask for copies, I could receive them in what they order.
it's 10 cents a copy.
I don't know how much they want.
In the process of trying to get an updated ADA website so that it is compliant with all of the things, and then my goal is to then post all ordinances at that time to make
Okay.
sure that they're ADA compliant.
And that means what?
People that can't see, will be able to see, like, they have them read to them, there's certain software that
Like
can't,
software
yes.
program that we have to purchase?
No, just the way the website's made.
The state would provide it?
I reached out to the Indiana Office of Technology to try to get the free service to get it set up, yes, so that it's not coming out of town money.
And my last question is, Mike, how long are they able to be up?
I don't really know, if we take them down anytime we want to.
Well, I mean, I think they're nice, but if we're gonna be up, we need a trash can, we're tired of that trash.
We'll see if I'm tomorrow.
Well, I don't want to get them up, but why did you check the trash cans away?
Well, because we have some people complaining because they were using their own personal trash cans.
Yeah, that was at a public meeting, I believe it was Denny Palmer, it was,
People,
I
People do know
understand
their
that,
crap.
but if we're gonna have a picnic, we need to put a temporary one there.
We can. So, we can go there, we can down there.
I mean, I think they're nice to the public, but if you put a picnic table, you have trash, and we pick it up every day.
Doesn't matter tomorrow.
That's it. Who's next on
I'm next on the list, I think. Okay, so all I would like to do is make a public thank you to the board members that did resign, to Adam Hoffman, Jay Harding, Brett Kleeman, and Brandon Kleeman. And FYI, I spoke to every one of, well, not Adam, I spoke to all of them, and I also spoke to the attorney. So if you call them, they'll give you the information that you need.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank them for their service on the board.
Mr. Lindauer?
Well, just want to commend each of you for taking a stance on the board. It is a big responsibility, as Mr. Perot was stating. Now, reputation, yes, it is at stake. Been here for 66 years, Roger's been here for 70 years, so.
Don't tell my age.
You know, we see the ups and downs. We remember when it was Mayberry.
Damn right.
Bad ups and downs, but hopefully it's on a upward trend. But yeah, you guys have a big responsibility, you guys are responsible from a financial standpoint, hold this town responsible for, those financials, but also the rules and regulations from the county, the state, and federal government. All it takes is one call to the state board of accounts, one call to the Department of Justice, one call to the Attorney General. To open them all for the last 40 years, so I commend y'all on what you've done. Other thing is, the only thing I ask the front office people over there be nice. I have dealt with, for 48 years from when we used to pay our utility bills up on the corner in the support room, that Fort Room Hardware, is down to Betty's mom, right over here, and down there, everybody's nice. They're not very nice over there anymore. All I ask, town people be nice. They've been here 66 years. And there's a couple other things. So I've served on this board for 4 years, over this fire department for 10. This has come up before y'all's time, 5, 13, 15 years ago. So this runs along my property. So what you're looking at here, now this, the engineers, 13, 14 years ago, they was putting in storm sewers. So one was supposed to go here where this riprap is. So I requested the riprap be put in there about 16 years ago because that ditch was 3 feet deep. Somebody was gonna fall in there, hurt themselves. So the engineers were supposed to put in, they have the catch basins down here. Engineers are supposed to put in a sanitary pipe going from here to here. Well, for some reason they did. So the riprap is there where I can trip over, anybody can trip over, plus it's an eyesore. No water runs down this, no water at all. So either you can take concrete and seal it over, or you can compact it with dirt. We can go over there and look at it, whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter to me, but it's a hazard. Probably only one in town. What they did down here across from the roundup, used to be a ditch there. They just took pavement, paved over it. So whatever you guys want to do. Right here on the corner. So the Scott corner, all his water runs down into my property, down where my 3-car garage is. There's no water that runs down that. There's no water that goes down that.
If it's along Harrison Street,
Right here.
Here's
That's
some
Harrison,
3-car
So this
garages.
was,
I'm
this was,
going this way.
this was
That's what
town
it is.
work.
Yeah, so at the time, this ditch was 3 feet deep. So, I mean, if a car ran in there or so at that time I requested, just put some riprap in there. But then the engineers were putting in storm sewers. So they put a catch basin on this end and on the other side on Walnut Street. And they were supposed to put a pipe in there, like a 12-inch pipe, and put a catch basin up towards the Scott and one down here. If they did, for some reason. That's been 13, 15 years ago. So you guys decide what you want to do. It's not a big cost, but you know, money is money. Now, my other concern is worse, and this has been brought up 3 times in the last 25 years. So behind Dale Sprinkle's property, which joins mine, there are 2 sewer lines. One is covered up with a boulder, which is not only storm, but sanitary. Same here. My basement has flooded 3 times. So with sanitary and storm. The only way you're gonna be able to fix that is tie right here, 20 feet. The side of my garage is where the town has an easement. This happened before. That pipe collapsed. They had, Lutching Brothers come in, dig that whole pipe up and replace it. But the only way you're gonna be able to fix this without going out to the highway from a sanitary standpoint is come out 20 feet from my garage and tie in to Walnut Street sanitary sewer. Because this is not only storm sewer, it's sanitary because I've got fecal matter in my basement.
So it's combined,
Hmm.
it's a combined sewer system.
I mean, you can come and look at them if you want. No problem.
And I have witnessed your basement flooding.
You know where it's at. Yeah, the basement's horrible, and it just happened again, what, 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks, 2 weeks ago. My wife was bawling and crying because she ruined all of her Christmas decorations. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So, other than that, I mean, it's a nice town. Like I said, I've been here 66 years, so I think we can be at one upward swing if someone takes more. And you guys have your hands, busy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wendorf. Adam, do you have anything?
No.
Kathy? No. Brian?
Yeah, the side-by-side permit. So, currently, I have a side-by-side, couple. And I do have permits on, so, get them here now.
Yes, we finally got the stickers that they're,
I paid for one.
yeah, and I remember putting a note in there, so if you wanna
Okay,
come
so I
down.
have one paid for,
Yeah.
I just need to get that one. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys handle
Oh,
it.
so the new ones are in, because I paid for one that I don't have.
Yeah, because the ones they had before had the year on it, and then they changed the ordinance,
Right.
so you could do once a year or every 3 years.
So they're ready?
Yeah, so the ones that are in there just give you a number, and there's not an
Okay.
expiration on the sticker, we just keep track of that and all.
The, utility bills. Is there any way to get an automatic payment thing going? It's not hard. You're the only town that don't have, I don't understand. The only town, in Indiana that don't have.
The current software that we use is an excessive expense to be able to provide it, but I am looking into other software to use because the current software company we have, they were purchased by a company out of Michigan, and I'm unhappy with a lot of the,
I mean, you can set up pay.gov though. I mean, simple. Yeah, it'll trust me.
we have PayGov, so yeah, you can go online and do that, but it's not automated. It's not a way to do it automated. Not with the software that we currently have.
But you can't set it up for monthly withdrawal. Whatever your bill is,
Correct, it's not available.
yeah.
It's too expensive of a cost to add with the current software.
The only bill I can't get off.
I'm working on it. I am working, I'm hoping by
Oh,
next
God,
year
no.
that it could be,
I pick my mail up once a month. That's it.
Is that something that can be paid?
Hey, I agree with you, because if that's the
Oh,
only bill I
exactly.
have, then I have to pay
cost to
manually.
add that feature.
And
is
I'll never do it. I get a door hanger on my door all the time.
So
There,
that's
I
why
that bill, that's the only way for mine, I try to
Keystone
get mine.
sold to a company called BSNC,
That was horrible.
BSCA.
But it's the only bill that I don't have.
Do you have anything else, Brian?
Yeah. Surveying. Okay, so the property, piece of property I'm getting ready to sell. I got disclosures. I've been asking for locations. For the life of me, I can't get my shit located. I need to know where the water lines are. I need to know where the sewer lines are. I need to know where the stuff is on.
Have you-
I've done 108 dig, I've had you guys come up there and flag all the simple stuff that's normal, but I need to know, I know there's lines running through there, but I need to dispose them, I need to know where they're at.
So you talking about like a
Layout.
survey? A survey.
I already have it.
Layout.
It's
So
survey.
they know where your property lines are.
Yes, yeah, that's a whole nother issue. So, that was what we're bringing up here in a second, but I need to get that stuff identified. So, back to 4 years ago, I asked, there's lines running in on that property from the street that nobody wants to take claim to. So, if nobody takes claim to them, I bet my attorney sent a letter, I want that right. Okay. So, there's mechanic lines coming off the road. It just floods that stuff. Right there. I know it ain't very valuable land, but it don't need to be flooded out like that. If it floods the other property down below it, the one that's over the other guy. But I'd like to know, and there's, you got fire hydrants up there. Where's the lines at? What's the easement? You go up Market Street right now, you can't walk all the way up Market Street without hitting all the weeds out there. And there's a house up there. So, I mean, it needs to be taken care of.
Are you talking on the Troy Ridge side or on?
Both sides. Either way. Yeah, it comes from Fort Ridge and all the utilities off my place going up. It used to go on further, but they don't anymore. It's off there at the old teacher's place there and my place. And then on the other side, like the electric, water and everything feeds Market Street from above. On the north side. But it comes across there. I just need to know where it comes across. I need to identify it. I've been on Devon, I've been on down here for 3 years now trying to get this identified. I need to disclose that, they want to know where it is at. So I've asked for one, I've pulled big tickets, tried to get it done over and over and over, nobody can do it. I've had survey to help them, National survey to help for me. So that brings up the other issue. So, y'all had me at, with Region 15, redo your maps and all that stuff. So the only little chunk of commercial property that I have up there is now marked residential. That got taken from me. I bought this commercial property, so this is gonna be another little issue where it has to end here. When I bought the property, it was commercial. All got marked residential. I need to see where it's all transpired. Where did it get changed from commercial to residential? That's what I need to know.
When they did the,
It's never been done.
we have proof of that,
So that's what,
whenever we had, I showed you maps.
no, that map, the meeting, you can't just map out and say.
No,
it's
I didn't
residential.
map it out, I didn't, this was all here when I got here in 24.
We haven't changed anything on there that I'm aware of, unless you guys have hired
No.
somebody.
No, all we
No,
did
no.
was
What did
just
Region
I
15
did an
do?
Well,
updated
look at it
map.
right now, it's all changed.
We did an updated, zoning map, just since we had some changes, there had been some changes that were made. So we just
According
had-
to,
We just, from the previous map,
from
that
the,
was done in
like,
2007.
so like changes from multifamily to residential and those kind
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
But there should not be anything that changes his, so it could be a mistake. So that's probably something you need to
Well, I mean, that was
May have been
something
an
that we
error.
were discussing before you left, Linda.
I know y'all remember when I was trying to do all that stuff and Bender and all that shit there and the zoning board and all that stuff and they ranked me over full, the whole year, and then Bender come in here and showed his ass, did everything opposite of what he said he was gonna do. So that's when I just said, hell with it, and I ain't gonna pursue that any further. I need to get it back to the way I bought it.
I have a question. Wouldn't it be in an ordinance? So like when you change one property from resident to commercial or what, isn't that?
That's all I asked for,
It's
show
just
me
in
where
the
it
zoning
came
board,
from
that's it.
commercial
It's just
to
documented
residential.
in your zoning files.
Never gonna work. Never been done.
Somebody just needs to look into it.
So there's zoning files, you can go in there and see if anything's changed in his property, you can look at the previous map and see what's changed.
Commercial, all the way back since Easter Seals, Troy had, that property been commercial for years. All,
Just compare that one to the previous.
and we had satellite, that little area where the satellite was, the towers were and all that stuff up there, it's fenced in up there. There was something else. I think that's all right.
Actually, you should check it out, Region 15 maps.
Last year, that was marked up, it's the only purple spot on there, now it's gone. But, it's a pretty big. But, so I called Indiana Read, they said that's the information that's supplied to them to do the map, to redo the map. So, I can't get on them because that's the information they was given, I can't put that on them.
I don't know. All I remember is whenever they gave us the new one, I sent it to the board members and asked if anybody had any questions or noticed any issues, and no one said anything.
And it's nobody here's fault either, so we'll look into it. We'll find out for you.
Still ain't. How long is the lease on the water?
What do you mean?
When was that signed?
I'd have to pull the lease, I don't know.
Who owns that ground?
It was Munier.
And it's
He's
still
passed
for
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sale? Oh my God. I like
I'll
that.
say that part of it, I have no idea.
So we just gotta worry about no data signatures.
I just buy that piece of ground. My collection.
Jay, do you have anything?
I have one more thing. I would like a copy of the current financials, balance sheet, and the last 3 months accounts payable. Claims.
You have, the Gateway had a bunch of information. The monthly financials. Gateway is an online program where the monthly financials are uploaded. You can look at it on there.
So if you don't have, like 90% of the people in this town have a computer, there's a form in the front office the girls can give you.
Yeah.
Fill that out specifically and ask, it's the private deal.
Thank you.
That's how you have to get it. It's still gonna charge you for each
That's
copy.
right. I
Yeah.
don't care. Tell me whatever you want.
Anything else?
I've got a question. Why was the citizens took off the agenda? And who took it off?
Chris Goffman
Why?
told me that I don't have to have that on there. I haven't.
The board has nothing to say about that?
I would prefer it be on there.
Been on
Prior
there for
board didn't
years.
have anything to say about that.
I mean, I'll do what I did tonight and motion for it to open up. But I would just prefer to have the opportunity for people to speak because,
Absolutely.
you know, it's only once a month that we're together, so.
There was an incident where a resident spoke for an extremely long time.
We had a time limit on
There's a
that.
time limit.
Yeah.
Well, it was very difficult to get her cut off, and she continued and continued and continued. And after that, it was asked, because it was she kept repeating herself. It
So
wasn't even a,
you just have to remind them before you put them on the
Yeah.
agenda.
We'll set-
We've had a couple of them.
Set some rules for a time limit.
It says it right there, 5 minutes.
Anything else?
Were we gonna try to meet again in a week or two as a working meeting, to discuss that Telsey electric contract plus the employees?
A working meeting is legal as long as you make no decisions. You do not have to post it. Now, if it's an official meeting, then you have to post it.
I would post it just so nobody,
Then you're
it
inviting public.
depends, yeah. And then there's a difference between like an
Yeah.
executive session. Like, there's certain things that can be an executive session. Yeah.
well, if we're doing employee relations, we probably need to do that.
It would have to be an executive session.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
Related to
idea. Okay.
employees.
Right.
Fine.
However, so just pick a time. Guess,
We can discuss
We
it.
really need to do something with that, Boonier property, because the relatives are wanting to sell it as soon as possible, the way I understand.
Because we're talking about the water.
Yeah.
The water wells.
I prefer if Lyndon Woody looks at that before we
Yeah.
do anything. Even if it costs us a fee, I feel much better.
I mean, I think it's okay,
And
but
what if they,
I'm not an attorney.
Yeah.
what if they sell it before we can?
Well, you
I
know,
don't think they can.
that's what the thing
It's
says.
a
No,
deal.
no, they're tied
Yeah.
up until we
Yeah,
grant.
like we have
Oh,
to, the
okay.
town has to send something back,
Okay.
and I don't,
Well, that's good.
and if we refuse to sign it, I'm not sure what happens then.
We own property up there somewhere by the
By the water wells.
water wells, but there's nothing on it. We just.
So,
For future.
just real quick, does it also say that they can't change your fees on us forever in that contract? That was the thing I was
I
thinking.
think the fees are set,
99 union.
yeah, it's the same, I
can't
think it's
remember,
the
I read it,
same
but-
fee every month.
No, it's once a year, but
$3,500, I think.
Yeah.
But it's 35 for the years, the rent, yes.
Oh, yeah. I hate to
We do get a
delay
small
that, but
amount.
it's not been legally reviewed. I don't know that we can move, I don't feel
I
comfortable.
think they said Chris did review it and he made some changes, didn't he, Saffron?
I didn't make any changes.
Chris didn't, I'm saying, didn't Chris Goffin look at it?
Chris Goffman is representing the family that's wanting to
So
sell it.
he can't, that's right, so
Yeah,
that's
so
all
it's
the more
coming
reason
back.
why we,
But yeah.
Who would be the signatory on our side? Is it the entire council or just the president?
He told me that this would be signed by the president and by myself, and then
Well, you are also.
Okay. To not delay this, can we do this? She said it's gonna, the signatory would be the president, the clerk treasurer. Can we, so we're not holding them up, because I don't want to do that. Can we do a motion that pending approval by retained counsel, we'll authorize you guys to sign it pending a positive review by attorney? I don't know the way to do that unless it's going to wait till next month, and I'm guessing they don't want to wait another month.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you have that,
he sent it to me like July 7th.
it's only been a month.
It's up to you all. I mean, that was
Yeah,
just
I
an,
know.
that's just an
Yeah,
idea.
I feel much better as my review.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want them to sign without an attorney review, so.
Chris, I spoke to Chris Hoffman at length, and I'm not gonna say anything he said, positive or negative, but he's been our attorney forever, ever. I think if one of you reached out to him and asked him, because you have the background, you have the information, would you please finalize this one last thing for us so we can move forward? I know he would do it.
Well,
Yeah. At a minimum.
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
considering staying on with
Yes.
us for one more year because he's gonna
But
retire.
he
in 1 year.
represents
yeah,
this
he
family.
represents the family.
Oh,
so it's a
He can't
conflict of
represent us
interest.
both.
Okay, I forgot that, okay.
So
Do you have the link to Gateway?
Goodbye, Randy.
if you just go in and Google it,
Yeah, just
Public-
Gateway.
go
It is
Google it.
just gateway.com.
He's got it burned.
Yeah.
Gateway,
Gateway.
yeah, it's Indiana
Yeah.
Gateway.
so it's everything she has, you just don't have signature on it. You can print off almost everything on there.
We'll just wait till next month on that, please. Do that.
I guess if you get some calls, get a hold of us in an email.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what else to do.
I just need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I motion to
Second.
adjourn.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next meeting is September 16th at 6 PM.
So we don't have to set up
We can just email
a.
communicate that. It's not, we're not gonna open it to public.
We're just gonna figure some stuff out. I mean, the public
Yeah,
doesn't
it
need
is
to
just
be here for us to
operational.
figure stuff
Yeah.
out.
Well, somebody still needs to
Well,
discuss,
you're
like,
allowed to
personnel matters.
talk, you just can't decide.
I don't-
It's called an operational.
yeah,
Did everyone sign?
No. I was the only one that signed.
Roger left.
Yep.
I'm just going to say,
These are the financials and the minutes that need signed every meeting, but these are for the last, like, month and the month before that, so there wasn't a meeting in July, as well as the minutes from the June meeting.
Do I
You'll have
need
3
to
signatures.
talk this?
Do you want
I said you'll have 3 signatures. People.
to?
I need to stop that?
No. Yes.